Shut the fuck up.
Cool, man. Press click.
It's been press click. Stupid.
Welcome back to another episode of Straight Facts, homie. Say the topic is dreams worth more than money on the way, nigga. Meek Mill album review. And we got special guest, Michael. And let's get it started.
Alright, dreams worth more than money. Meek Mill's second project. Waiting for like 2 years on this after the biggest flop of Dreams and Nightmares. My first listening, I was disappointed. I was really expecting this to be fire, and like I was like, this is garbage. Like it took me like around the 5th listen to like actually like get the concept of like what Meek was trying to do in the album. The album was almost like split into two. Like he had tracks on there before he went to jail. He was talking. I saw an interview on him. He was talking about how like he was in a dark place. Like the tracks like Cold Hearted, tracks like Check and Lord Knows. Like that was before he went to jail. He was in a dark mind. And then obviously like when he came out, when he was with Nicki, obviously the radio hits and the songs were like Weeknd and Drake. The collaborations with other MCs and other artists. You could definitely see like his mindset was changing. Yeah, like when you get into the tracks in the album, like Lord Knows, he started off with just, it reminded me almost like Drake's Tuscan Leather. How like Drake, he changed the beat up, he changed his flow up like 3 times. I like how he dropped the beat and came harder each and every verse. Like from 1, 2, and 3, he just came harder. But my only like problem with, and like he did it in a couple other songs too. I felt like he was reaching too much with some of his lyrics. Like I feel like he was trying to be a little too deep. Like he was being reflective. Like I like that mindset, but I feel like he was reaching too much. Like some of the words he was using just didn't like feel right. Like that's not Meek Mill. Like that's not who we know. And then you get to the second track, Classic. Yeah. Oh my gosh, do I hate this track so much. The beat on it is so offbeat. The drums, I don't know who idea was. You can't vibe with that track at all. I didn't really bang with Meek's verse. It was, he definitely did better on other tracks, but the beat and the drums, like nothing on that track go together. For your second verse, man, I don't know. But then you get to Jump Out the Face. Woo! That boy Future. I'm not a big Future fan, but that track, he did his thing. He bodied Meek on that. He bodied Meek on that track. Like they both did their thing, but Future definitely stood out more than Meek on that track. Then you get to number 4, All Eyes on You with Nicki Minaj and Chris Brown, the radio track. I personally love that track. I like the going back and forth with him and Nicki. It was almost like the Kanye and Big Sean. What's that name of the song? All Your Fault. I like the going back and forth. Like even though they weren't like battling so much as Big Sean and Kanye, it was like together. Like, I fuck with that. And then you know Chris Breezy do with Chris Breezy. Then you get to the Trillers. Like the Trillers, I felt like he was being reflective. I personally like that track a lot. Like I felt like he spilled his heart into that track. But also like this is another track where I felt like he was reaching for his lyrics. That one line when he was like, I have it here. He was like, they told me I couldn't be rapping. I started trapping it. Never listen to them again. Oh well, shit is immaculate. Like it makes sense. Like the actual word makes sense. I just feel like he's reaching for it. Like another one. No, like he's reaching. Like you can feel like okay, that's like if you're a big fan of Meek Mill, you know like that's not how he does certain things. Like that's not how he moves. Like I feel like he's trying to appeal or catch the audience of somebody else.
I feel like he was doing that the whole album.
You feel like he was trying something new.
Yeah, especially in the second to last track, bro. The joint was dry like pop.
I mean that's big Nicki influence. He talked about that a lot. He didn't want to do that shit at all. But like Nicki was like, this is gonna help you sell hits and shit, help him sell the album a lot.
She got more money, so I was in her.
Like shit. Then you get to Rico. I hate that song so much. Meek's verse lazy, his flow lazy. Drake's verse even lazier, his flow lazy. Like I can throw that track away. Like wow. I don't like that track. Like it's a big. Everyone loves it on the radio, and throw that shit away. I got the juice. I fuck with that hard. I feel like that's what he was also being reflective of his life, and he was flexing, doing what Meek does. And like I felt like in that track specifically, like his lyrics matched like who he was. Like he wasn't reaching as much in the other tracks. He was doing his thing, and he was still showing like where he's become as a rapper and new things that he's accomplished as a rapper. For me personally, I didn't feel too much for Ambition. Pull Up, him and Weeknd did his thing. I feel like Weeknd did a little bit more than him on that track, but I feel like they mixed well for that track. Check. That's my favorite song on the album, man. The verse, the hook, everything about that. He was just spazzing, flexing, doing what Meek does, man.
Screaming.
Alright, been that, man. Rick Ross, like, I don't know, like, I'm not a fan of Rick Ross, but he ain't damaged the track as he usually does, man. Like,
Rick Ross be killing every
Damage.
What?
Rick Ross be killing.
What?
who?
Huh?
Rick Ross be what?
He be killing tracks.
Anyway,
Rick
back
Ross
to the
is
topic.
worse. He's
Actually
worse than
forgot it. Come on,
Rick Ross
man.
is worse than the Moco gangster.
Listen, every rapper is a liar.
No, but he's next level shit. He was literally known to be on the other
He's
side.
just the one that got exposed.
What? He was literally he was arresting niggas. like he was niggas in jail. Like he was a nigga talking about it's night. It's time to go to sleep, nigga. Like he was a CO.
Yeah,
He was on the government side. Like you're more gangster than Rick Ross.
Oh shit. I didn't feel like Rick Ross butchered that whole track. I actually think he did well for Rick Ross. He did well. Meek Mill, I felt like he came around a bit on that track, but you can only do so much when Rick Ross on your track, man. Stand Up, I didn't really care for that track too much. I felt like he kind of dropped the ball on that track. He was still being real, but as in the term, like, as in to make it into a track and like just music, like replay value, I don't see too much in it. But I definitely fuck with that track, but I don't see me giving that too many spins. And then the last track, I felt like he ended the album perfectly with Cold Hearted. Diddy, like, him talking shit, like, I felt like it was powerful. Like, what's that one line he said, Mel's, with the mother?
So your own mother hate on you.
Like that shit just hit you,
and
dog.
you raised me.
Like, are you sure you want this money?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want this? Everybody
Yeah.
need it. Like, I felt that was perfect. And like, Meek was the young, like, Diddy was like the GOAT on the track, like, you trying to get here, young boy, and Meek was like the young entrepreneur, the novice that was trying to show, like, I'm here, like, I'm ready to take over. Like, when he be talking about how he's gonna pass Jigga, like, he's gonna pass Nicki, like, I love that shit. Like, he was being real to himself, and like at the same time setting standards, showing these boys like what he talking about on his IG page. Like, this is not for you to be jealous, this is for motivation. Like, he's showing like I've come so far in my life, and I'm ready to take off, and this is only the beginning. Like, I felt like he ended this album perfectly. But as a whole project, I still felt like something was missing. Like, as long as he took to put this together, I expected a little bit more out of this whole project, but...
Alright, so, first track, Lord Knows. I feel like most of the time, Meek Mill's songs be sounding the same in a way. Like, he's like, just screaming in the joint. And like, Lord Knows is like a typical Meek song. It cranked and all that. I mean, like, it wasn't like nothing special like that. Classic, I agree, that joint is trash. Like, I don't like the beat. Swiss Beats is just corny, like, just cornball. What about the face? Hottest song of 2015.
Hottest song of 2015.
If Duggar was on this track and this song was a full 3 minutes,
what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen if Duggar's on the track?
Bro, you be down Thugger, bro. Stop down Thugger.
He gonna talk about
hottest song.
He gonna go ahead.
Cause like the only thing I have a problem with that song is that it's too short. It's only like 2 minutes and like 30.
It is pretty short.
And like I get the hype is at the very end of the song. Like when this man be like, if I lose this enough out of rules, get hit with the chopping knife right out your shoes. That's when I be getting so hyped, and then the song over. Like that's how.
We pulling them dicks.
Smoking on the penises.
Yeah, old faggot ass.
Yeah,
I don't condone.
He's an artist.
I don't condone faggots that don't come out.
Bro, put me on a Young Thug episode.
I don't think we gonna talk about Young Thug. Not with these two.
I mean, we can talk about who's ruining hip hop.
All right,
We gonna talk about he went quadruple styrofoam.
All Eyes on You. It's a song for the ladies. Song for the radio. Any for the streets. And like Meek Mill been like he been street for breaks. Now he with Nicki. Now he getting soft. I mean, it's a good song, like, but it's something I wouldn't really expect from Meek. For the Trillers, that joint put me to sleep for real. Like, I'm probably never listening to that joint again in my life. Rico, It's a hit. Mainly just because Drake on that joint. Meek was okay, but Drake really killed that joint. And like, it's a tight beat. Just a tight beat. I Got the Juice. I think that was the best song where Meek was just by himself on this whole album. Like, I was just feeling that joint. Like, it make you feel confident when you listen to that song. So like, that was a tight joint. Ambitions. I don't even remember listening to this joint. It was alright. This joint, it was like, my ambition is a ride. It was alright. Like, as you get into the middle of the album is when it get a little boring, and then he turn up at the end for real.
Do you feel like he can hold like most of these songs on his own, or does he need the features to like keep up with like the whole body of work?
Yeah, I mean, just when people do solo tracks, it's usually kind of boring.
Nah, there's people who hold tracks.
But like,
nah, he needed these features.
But like, I like hearing another voice like on the song. I don't want to listen to Meek
but like
screaming.
for these specific tracks, like for this album, do you feel like the features made this album?
Yeah, I'm not just gonna listen to Meek for a full. It's him. Like, it didn't sound right. Like, why is Meek Mill doing the song with The Weeknd? Like, this man wasn't even screaming. Like, it wasn't even him. Man. This man was Bad For You. I don't even think it was really needed in the song. Like, the whole album. Like, we already had All Eyes on You. Like, I don't need to hear that again. The stand up, it just sounded like he was trying to appear to like people that don't even listen to rap. Like, it was on some 99.5 stuff. Like, the outro, like, it was cool. Like, it was kind of boring to me.
Boring.
It was kind of boring. Like,
when you heard the words Diddy was saying,
I mean,
how can you associate that with boring?
He's just not the type of person.
Talking about Meek's part was boring to me. Like, I was just like, when is the joint gonna end? Like,
when our stomachs used to touch, talking about when they
when the
hungry,
stomachs touch your ribs. What is boring about that? That's
His people make 6-figure apiece. It's fine. Keep it going.
Some of the things he used to talk about in his earlier days, just like, damn, you went through all this stuff, and he was talking about with his parole officer and like being in jail. Like, I don't see how you can associate that with boring. You may not be able to relate to that, but like,
nah, it was like listening to J. Cole or something. Like, I don't like J. Cole. Like, he just
but
talking.
Like,
it's like
you might not.
It's not even like it's like I wasn't listening to music. It's like I'm hearing this man talk about himself. Like,
But
like
the word
I mean, like,
boring associated with some of the things he's talking about.
Okay, it wasn't boring. It wasn't boring.
The sound can be boring. It doesn't. Have
it was interesting. Like, it was just like.
Because it was slow.
It didn't sound good. Like, me personally, I like music that like has bass and all that. Like, it was just, I mean, Diddy just like he does what he does like all the time, like all his tracks. And he just, yeah, it's fun.
All right, so we gonna start off with the first song, Lord Knows, which is the biggest banger. That song is crazy. Tory Lanez on the hook, he killed it. That's a dope ass. That's the dopest song on the whole thing, especially for the club and all that. And then classic with Swiss Beats. I mean, he brought the energy. It's a cool song. It's not that great, but it's cool. And then Jump Out the Face with Future. I actually had to get used to this song because in the beginning I really wasn't liking it. I thought it was more so a Future song than Meek's, but I guess it's growing on me. I like it though. It's All Eyes on Me. We know that's for the radio. We gonna skip through that. Chris Brown, Nicki, it's a good song. It's for the radio. Ventriloquist, it's a skip over. It's not my favorite song on the album. Rico's that shit. Rico's that shit you put in your car. Blast that shit and just look around like, yeah, nigga. Rico that shit. Shout out to Drizzy Drake. Don't do nothing illegal. I Got the Juice. It's a cool song. Nothing special. Ambitions. I like that. He went in. That was a nice sample for Pac. I like that. That was a good look. Ambitions was tough. Pulling Up with The Weeknd. I don't know if Meek got bodied on his own song by The Weeknd, but Weeknd does that to people. But it was cool. It was more so of a Weeknd song than Meek, but it was cool. It was a cool song. Check. Another skip over. I wasn't too gassed about that. It was a good street song, but it's not. I wasn't too gassed about it. Then that, Rick Ross is not my favorite artist, so we're not gonna talk about that. Bad For You, another radio song with Meek and Nicki. It's typical radio song. It's cool. It's nothing special, but yeah. Stand Up was cool. It was a cool song, but I think that once it got like past Rico and like Lord Knows, the album, it was cool, but Lord Knows started off with, that was fire, cause the whole like Beethoven sample and all that stuff, that right there was fire. So after that, the second half of the album started falling off for me personally. And then Cold Hearted, Meek spit that real shit, but Diddy really stole the show at the end. Just being who Diddy is, talking that shit that make you feel like you ain't shit in life, but motivate you at the same time. Not it though, but definitely the best songs on there. The best songs on there is definitely Lord Knows, Rico, Classic, and then Ambitions, and Pulling Up just because I'm a Weeknd fan. And Meek did, he did straight. Yeah, but definitely. Lord Knows the best song on the album.
Meek absolutely needed these features. Well, for me personally, I don't know, because my favorite moments or favorite songs on the track, on the album, like Lord Knows, Jump Out the Face, Rico, those are probably like my 3 favorite songs. And on 3 of them actually, he didn't credit Tory Lanez or whatever, but yeah, on 2 of those he had Future, Drake, which they both outshined him on both of those tracks. And even what's the radio song All Eyes on You? Like that's like the main like hit of the album. And without Nicki, he doesn't have that. So he absolutely needed the features on this album.
I felt like he did a good job with the features, with the blending with the features. Other than The Weeknd, I felt like he bodied him on that one. But I would like to see more him on the album. Like I love the features on the album, except for the Drake. But I want to see him. I want to see more of him on the album.
Yeah, he definitely needed features because I don't know anybody. Like, can you listen to Meek straight?
I can listen to straight Meek Mill
for an hour.
I can listen straight Meek Mill. He can hold up. He can hold a body of work.
How do you think?
We talking about this album specifically.
Like
this album,
you say he can't.
He only had like
project.
he only had
that's
like
his point. I'm not going.
He only had like 5 songs without the feature.
I'm talking about in general though. You can't listen to no Meek. I'm talking about before this album.
1, 2.
Yeah, I can listen to Meek, but
yeah, there are 5 songs without feature.
I gotta listen to like somebody with a softer voice in it, like his voice. I gotta listen to something else. So like I could listen to the whole album, but like if the features were not there, it would be painful.
I feel damn near everything the guy say. So to me, it's like I feel it. Like when he say, because when he talking about it, I can feel the hunger in his pain. I can feel like this. You can see that he came from the bottom and he talking that shit. To me, I like people that talk that shit. If you talk that shit, I'm a fan of you, regardless of what you saying.
But you gotta back it up.
You just gotta back it up, and he's showing improving. This album is doing numbers right now, and the album quality is solid. It's a really good album. And yeah, he talked that shit, and I like that. So to me, I could listen to Meek straight for hours straight, 2 hours straight.
I wouldn't say it was a really good album. It was decent. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. Like it ain't going down in the history books.
Nah, I said good. I didn't say great. There's a difference.
How do you feel this album was compared to his last flop album and compared to his other mixtapes? How do you feel this was?
I think this, like I said, I think this was definitely better than Dreams and Nightmares, except the intro. Intro don't count. And Traumatized, that was fire. But this is definitely his second best one since Dream Chases, the original, the first one. That right there to me is his best body of work till this date. Like that right there was a lot of Meek Mill by himself, and the features over there was just a gully ass project from the intro. Counting Money, all I hear is Benji talk, like all that was fire with the Beanie Siegel, Dream Chasers, House Party with the Club Banger. That right there to me was his best body of work. But this right here, you can tell the beats are better, the quality of sound is better. He got bigger artists, the features is better. Everything is just better. You can see the progression in his work. But yeah, he's definitely improved over time, especially from Dreams, especially the second mixtape and the third mixtape. He improved big time, and from the album.
Of the elite rappers, like Meek is the only like elite rapper that's really talking about the streets and like coming from that perspective. Like most of them, like Drake, he not from the street. He don't got nothing to talk about. Rick Ross, he a fraud, like you said.
Rick Ross is elite.
Just a
Rick Ross is elite.
I can see
finish. Compared to his other bodies of work, I definitely feel like he's taking a step forward. I like that he's experimenting and trying new things. Some of the things he did on this album, he didn't do as well as he could have, but I respect the man who's trying to expand his rapping ability and try something new. The features on it, I felt like he did a good job of getting beats and like mixing well with other artists. After seeing him come out of jail, I definitely think he's taking strides forward. He's becoming a different man. His mindset is a lot different than before he went to jail and on his other projects. But I still feel like as a rapper in a whole, like there's still a big jump for him to take to get to that next level, get up there with the J. Coles and the Kendricks and the Drakes of the world. The whole project, I definitely fuck with this project, but yeah, there's steps he needs to take.
I definitely think this is his second best project. And the features, he did what you're supposed to do with the feature. You're supposed to let your, why would you have an artist come on your album and he's not himself? Like, Meek blended in perfectly. To me, he didn't really get bodied as far as rapping wise. He probably got bodied as far as like choruses and shit, but not rapping. Drake didn't kill him with the rapping. He had a better chorus in him. Meek didn't do the chorus. This is second best project, and the features he blended in well with the features, because why would you have artists come on your album and don't let them be who they are? I think Meek Mill right now, he's like, it's all the rappers at the top like Kendrick, Cole, and all them. They really not talking for like the kids from the gut. I mean, they talking, but it's more so like a trying to preach.
Yeah,
Meek Mill's more so talking like, oh, I lived it. They talking more so from like the perspective of like a preacher or whatnot. But he's talking about actually like living it, and I feel him on that. And it's like he has a lane. He has his own lane, which is for the street rap. And it's like he's killing that lane right now. And to me, yeah, just keep talking that shit. He's only gonna get better and better and get more lyrical, and his music just gonna keep developing over time.
He's really matured as an artist. Like he was real childish on like Dream Chasers 2. Like Racked Up Shawty. I was listening to that. Trash, man. He wouldn't talk about nothing. Now he talking about stuff. Like he got stuff to say. And like I really appreciate that. Like he's getting better.
As I said before, I didn't really listen to Meek prior to this, but I definitely like this album. It was a solid album. But like I said before, I think he didn't get like outshined by the features, but most of the features that I like, they perform better than him. So I like to see more of like him actually taking over and doing that. But yeah, it was nice.